Well, you're here because you filled out a survey about a guy and he scored a C. In many important ways, this guy is falling short. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you, things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10 dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10 dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He definitely works hard and wants to do well, but it won't be an easy road for him. He can get emotional and lose his temper when things don't go his way, making it harder to keep good relationships at work. But his habits and moods can get in his own way.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things go wrong at work, he's more likely to break down than bounce back. He can get upset quickly, and small problems might trigger a bigger reaction than you'd expect. Instead of calmly finding solutions, he might lose his temper, complain, or blame others.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
People at work may find it tough to truly like or respect him. He often speaks bluntly and isn't very considerate of others' feelings, which can lead to misunderstandings or hurt feelings. Over time, co workers may try to keep their distance to avoid getting caught up in his temper.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you shine in your career, he may not show much pride or happiness for you. Instead, he might feel uneasy or even act out with a sharp word or hurt feelings, especially if he's struggling at work himself. Don't expect big celebrations. He might make quick or careless remarks instead of giving support.
What if you start earning more than him?
Yes, if you earn more than him, he is likely to feel uncomfortable and possibly even resentful, though he may not say it openly. You might notice him making sarcastic comments or acting cold and distant, especially during discussions about money or success. He finds it hard to celebrate others' wins, especially when he feels left behind.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He isn't very careful or methodical with money, so you might see him spending impulsively or forgetting to track where it all goes. Planning budgets or saving up takes effort for him, and sometimes important bills or expenses might slip his mind. You may end up taking on the responsibility of keeping things organized and making sure you both stay on track.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He is more likely to spend without much thought, sometimes living beyond his means just to keep up or feel good in the moment. He doesn't plan carefully or stick to a budget, so you might catch him buying things he can't really afford or making last minute decisions that aren't practical. This can lead to stress about money and unpleasant surprises later.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He isn't naturally open handed or kind, either with money or his attitude. You might find him a bit cold or not very generous, whether it's offering help, spending on loved ones, or supporting someone in need. His way of talking can be blunt, sometimes lacking in warmth or understanding.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He isn't very open or honest about money matters. You might find him keeping things to himself or avoiding conversations about spending and saving. Instead of discussing and planning together, he could make decisions on his own or forget to tell you about important expenses. He's not very warm or understanding, so if you question him, he might get irritated or even say something sharp.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He is likely to believe that housework is mostly your responsibility rather than something to be shared. Helping around the house doesn't come naturally to him, and he rarely offers support unless asked. And even then, he might do it without much care or warmth. If something needs to be done, he may expect you to handle it or just not notice at all.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He's more likely to stand on the sidelines, maybe giving advice or pointing out what needs to be done, rather than actually rolling up his sleeves and helping with chores or diapers. You could find him supervising while you do the real work, and if he helps at all, it may be grudgingly or just to get it over with. Don't expect him to share the load equally or offer support without you having to ask.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He's more likely to argue just to prove he's right instead of truly trying to understand your side. When you share your feelings or concerns, he might interrupt, raise his voice, or shut you down with blunt words. This attitude can make you feel alone, even when you're having important conversations.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he is likely to lose control and say things that are hurtful or harsh. Respectful words and actions are not his strong suit when emotions are running high. He can come across as aggressive, making the situation feel tense or even unsafe at times.
Does he have a bad temper?
Yes, he gets angry very quickly, and this is not something you should overlook. His temper can flare up over small things, and the way he handles anger may leave you feeling scared, hurt, or anxious at home. Everyone deserves respect and safety, especially in their own home.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He finds it very hard to say sorry or take responsibility when things go wrong. Instead, he's more likely to blame you or find excuses, even for his own mistakes. Admitting fault or gently talking things out doesn't come naturally to him.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
He may struggle to fully respect your boundaries, especially if you say no to something important to you. He's not very tuned into others' feelings or comfort, so he might push back, argue, or try to convince you instead of stopping when you set a limit. This can leave you feeling unheard or pressured.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
Yes, he is likely to take it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. Instead of understanding your feelings, he may become upset, sulk, or even make a hurtful remark. This can make you feel pressured or guilty, even though you have every right to your own boundaries.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
With him, trust in private moments may feel shaky. He can be blunt and sometimes uses sharp words when he's upset, so there is a risk that he might bring up these sensitive moments in arguments, either to win a fight or make a point. It's important to feel safe and respected, especially in intimate matters.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He is not someone who is easily charmed by others or always looking for excitement outside the relationship, but that doesn't automatically mean he'll be a deeply faithful or loyal partner either. His focus is more on his own needs and feelings, so he might not put much effort into keeping the relationship strong and connected. If you're looking for strong loyalty and shared effort, you may have to be the one who holds things together.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
Yes, he can be quite possessive and may often act jealous or suspicious even when there's little reason. He might question you about your friends, get upset if you talk to other men, or try to check where you've been. Over time, it can make you feel trapped or anxious in your own relationship.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
Yes, with him, what might first look like being protective can really be a sign of a controlling personality. He may say he worries about your safety or wants what's best for you, but this often becomes strict rules, constant questioning, or wanting to know your every move. Genuine protection is about support and respect, not control or making you feel small.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He will most likely expect you to do most of the work when it comes to parenting. He doesn't easily step in to help or share the daily responsibilities, often leaving you to manage the children, schoolwork, routines, and comfort all by yourself. Over time, this can make you feel overwhelmed and unsupported.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he is likely to lose his temper rather than stay calm. Small mistakes can quickly turn into big scoldings, and his words may be harsh or even hurtful. This approach can make kids nervous around him, afraid to make mistakes or share their feelings.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He is not likely to truly support you as both a mother and your own person. Instead of cheering you on or encouraging your dreams, he may expect you to put the family and his needs first, leaving little space for your own wishes or growth. He rarely notices or values your efforts outside the home, and you may feel taken for granted or alone in your journey.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later, after kids and marriage, change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
Yes, he is the kind of man who may seem to support your career at first, but could later expect you to quit once you have a child. He might say he's proud of what you do now, but deep down, he's more comfortable when traditional roles are followed, where you take care of the home and children, and he focuses on his work. Don't ignore any signs that his support might only last until it's time to put his needs first.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He is more likely to act polite on the surface rather than show real warmth to your parents. You may notice that he does the minimum needed to keep things civil, but doesn't go out of his way to make your family feel welcome or valued. Conversations might be brief, a bit formal, or even feel slightly cold at times. He is more likely to expect your family to adjust to him rather than making much effort to fit in himself.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he is more likely to make things worse than handle it calmly. When faced with family tension, he can lose his temper, say harsh things, or become impatient very quickly. You could end up feeling caught in the middle, trying to calm him down while also protecting your family's feelings.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you, but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
Yes, he is the kind of man who may act modern with you in private, but expect you to be the perfect traditional supportive wife when his relatives are around. He might enjoy your independence and partnership in daily life, but during family gatherings or visits, he'll want you to dress, behave, and even speak in ways that please his parents and fit their expectations. This double standard can feel unfair and exhausting, having to switch who you are depending on who's watching.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension, he is more likely to stay out of it or even side with his family rather than supporting you. He doesn't naturally step up to stand by your side during conflicts, especially when relatives are involved. You might end up feeling alone and unsupported, having to handle tough situations by yourself.
Say you have a conflict with his mother. What will this guy do?
Yes, he is very likely to be a mummy's boy. When there is a conflict between you and his mother, he will almost always choose her side or try to avoid taking a stand at all. He may listen to her advice over yours, put her feelings before yours, and expect you to compromise for the sake of family peace. If his mother criticizes you or makes unfair demands, don't expect him to speak up for you or set boundaries.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
Yes, he is likely to share many details of your fights or private life with his mother or sister. Whenever there's a problem between you, he may run to them for advice, sympathy, or just to vent, even about things that should stay between husband and wife. When private issues become family gossip, trust and closeness in your marriage start to break down.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
So that's the story. This guy scores a C. In many important ways, this guy is falling short of the standard we would want. Being in a relationship with this man day in and day out means living with a lot of emotional ups and downs. He works hard and may be busy or stressed much of the time, but you may feel alone when it comes to sharing warmth, support, or everyday joys.